So creationists, how you doing? Whenever we get into these arguments where I'm trying to explain evolution to you, you always try to come up with some imagined boundary. You say that there's a significant difference between microevolution and macroevolution, and you never understand what that is. I mean, a lot of you have told me that you accept micro, which you don't, because you don't accept that mutations are the source of new information in the genome. And you say that you accept, but you reject macroevolution, saying that, but at the same time, that you accept that speciation happens, that new species emerge, and you're okay with that. But you don't seem to understand that the definition of macroevolution is variation between species at or above the species level, and that includes speciation. Whereas, of course, microevolution is variation within a species. And as I said, you don't even adequately understand that. So where is the boundary that you imagine there should be? I mean, you tell me that you're okay with variations within a kind, but you habitually won't describe what a kind is, not in any taxonomically significant or consistent way. I mean, you never say what a, we ask you all the time, how do you identify a kind? And what are these boundaries supposed to be? Because when I show you the ranges of hybridization, or between the varieties between two species and overlapping ranges, where one obviously is derived from the other, you make any excuse you can to avoid admitting that, hey, this is actually evolution. It's not like creation has a mechanism at all. It's not like it has an explanation of anything. I mean, you don't really think that God came down and produced hundreds of species of parrots individually, that he created all of them separately. You have to admit that they evolved from each other. And does that mean that you will accept that parrots and macaws and cockatoos are all related? Come on, give me a range here. What is it you accept? What do you reject, and why? But you won't ever explain that. I mean, what the hell is, when they say that there's a difference in kinds, what the hell is a kind? I mean, the Bible is, it's a little bit worse than vague on this point. One of the things the Bible says, for example, is, it says that there's a beast kind, but then what is a beast? And then you have the category of creeping things, and then creeping things includes like everything that's from every type of arthropod, insect, and whatever, and snakes as well. They're all in the creeping things kind, which makes absolutely no sense. It's being classified by what they do rather than what they are, and that's why bats are classified as birds and whales are classified as fish. I mean, you obviously can't use the Bible's means of taxonomy at all. What the fuck they know? So give me an idea what a kind is, because you have like the bird kind, and then what the Bible gets into for the bird, there's not a bird kind, there's all these different kinds of birds, and then there's kinds of kinds, because in some places it'll talk about the different kinds of kites or different kinds of owls. So like, how many different kinds of owls did God create, right? They did a whole bunch. So where's the difference? Would you accept that all owls are biologically related, and thus on an evolutionary timeline? Would you accept that snakes are biologically related and on an evolutionary timeline? I mean, that's the one clade that the Bible describes in detail, right up to the common ancestor, the last universal common ancestor for all snakes. That's, the Bible describes what that ancestor was. It was the first snake in the garden, according to the mythology, right? That you guys absolutely believe is real history, including all the contradictions. So, but you don't. None of you will accept that all snakes evolved from a phylogenetic tree of common ancestors. I can't get any of you guys to admit that, even when your magic book of fables says exactly that. So what the hell is a kind? Show me. I put up the phylogeny challenge 10 years ago, but more than that now. And none of you have answered it. And this is a necessary thing. If you want to hold that creationism is true of anything at all, or that evolution is absolutely true for everything at all, then there has to be that exception. And you have to be able to show that taxonomy is only valid up to this point, And then beyond that, you have this other kind of system. And where is that division? You have to be able to show it. So I'm going to try to make this really simple, because when I gave the phylogeny challenge, none of you could figure out what the question even was. So we're going to make it really, really simple. Just show me 4 species that science would consider closely related. So show me 2 that are in the same kind, and they don't even have to be different species. They can be varied varieties, whatever it is that you accept. But it's something that science would classify close together, you know, like dogs and wolves and bears and seals and that sort of thing, you know, something along those lines. And show me how we know that these 2 are in the same kind, and then these other 2 are different kinds. So there's going to be 3 kinds represented in 4 animals. Just give me that example. What the hell is it? And show me how we know. Because I think we already know that you're never going to answer this question, because you know you're full of shit. You all know you're full of shit. This has all been a shit game. It's all make-believe. So let's just come out and admit that, right? You're one of pretenders. You want to believe things that you know aren't true, and so you don't care what the truth is. Or if you really do care what the truth is, then show me. The fuck is a kind? Oh, that's good. Okay, so give me those examples, or one of you guys at least have a discussion with me in real time. I'm on my channel. I'm inviting people all the time to have this talk with me, where we can draw out what the phylogeny challenge is and show out where these lines are. None of you ever take me up on that, and I think I know it's because you know you're full of shit, don't you? Y'all do. So I'm just going to call you out on that. Anyway, have fun. You know I am. There's a lot of shrimp in that.